This is giving me summer heat vibes. Hey friends, it's Jacqueline here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be trying a ton of new luxury makeup releases like the Goss, the Luxury Cream Foundation, also his setting powder. I'm going to be trying his Poreless Beauty Puff. I have here the new Dior Riviera Summer 2022 collection, the eyeshadow palette in Bayadere, as well as the Westman Atelier Peau de Soleil Chantecaille HD Radiant Blush, the new Westman Atelier Brow Pencil, Laura Mercier Blush, the reformulator Diorshow Volume Mascara, as well as the new Diorshow On Stage Liquid Eyeliner. I also have a ton of different lip products from another one of the Dior Addict lip tints. I also picked up more of the Gucci liquid matte lipsticks. I honestly do not know what I'm going to do as far as lipsticks go, but I'm going to try one of them. We will decide depending on the eyeshadow look and whatnot. And also, I'm going to be trying the Signature Eye Brush Collection by Vanity Makeup. They have sent me all the airbrushes. So let's get started right here. As you can tell, I have a clean canvas. Basically, morning time, I did my skincare. I also applied my SPF, which is the TATCHA, the Silk Sunscreen. This is the one that I have been using quite a bit. I will be leaving all the details of the products that I'm going to be using today on the description box below, along with the links for your convenience. And because we're going to be trying a new foundation, usually when I do, first impressions of a foundation or a full day wear test, is that I do not apply primer, or I apply primer on certain area of my face. So the idea right here, I think I'm just going to be using my favorite primer at the moment, which is the Tom Ford Traceless Soft Matte Primer. And I'm just going to apply it on my enlarged pores area. I think that's all what I'm going to do. And just a very tiny little amount like this. And I'm just going to put it right here where I have my enlarged pores, just on my right hand side. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. Welcome to all of you, my dear friends. I do have dry skin on the perimeters of my face. Here is the area where I have my enlarged pores and redness, and where I have more of like the normal skin. Right now, when I'm trying all these products, is springtime. I live in California, drier climate, not too dry. I live very close by the coastline, but it's not humid either. I do have signs of aging, like enlarged pores. I do have sun spots here and there. I do have a ton of freckles. And yes, I do have what is considered mature skin because I'm on my 4th floor. So I'm already over 40 years old. So anyhow, that's just a little bit about me. I do have a light to medium skin tone if you want to know that. Again, all those details, frequently asked questions, they will be in the description box below too. All the details will be there. Okay, let's go ahead and get started with this new foundation by Goss, the Luxury Cream Foundation. It comes with 1 ounce or 28.3 grams of product. It has a shelf life of 24 months. It comes in 12 different shades, and I know it has been very much talk about why not that inclusivity. I think he already explained that he's self-founded. It's not easy to launch, a ton of shades at the same time. He tried to spread it as much as possible in the sense to hit those who have very light skin tones all the way for those who have very deep skin tones, and just try to balance it out. I think there are 12 shades. I think it's 4 light skin tones, 4 medium, and 4 deep, if I'm not mistaken. But anyhow, the promise from Wayne is that he will expand his shade range as as obviously more income comes, and then he can invest back again. So let's look for it, and now let's just check out how this foundation goes. So I got it in the shade number 8. I was really eyeing shade number 9, and it sold out right away. But then looking at Goss, I think it was on his Instagram, he actually was wearing shade number 9. I'm like, he's way lighter than me. But I was kind of guiding myself a little because in Beautylish, there was this model, beautiful lady that was wearing shade 9, and I'm like, okay, seems like she could be a close to my skin tone. Anyhow, my friends, let's go for this. So it comes like kind of like a balm. And let me just feel the texture first. Oh yeah, it's very creamy, balmy, and it doesn't have any particular scent to it. Let's see. Okay, I think this could be a good shade for me actually. So that's that. And then with this lunch, he also had come out with this Smooth and Set the Poreless Beauty Path. And he suggests that this little Ziploc bag, oh, okay, it doesn't rip all the way, to save it, you know, so we don't create more waste, and then reuse it again. There's no like zipper closure, it's just like a Ziploc bag, but that's his suggestion. So basically on one side, okay, inside is silicone. Yeah, definitely you can feel it. One side is velvet and the other one it's a little bit more fluffy, like a fluffy side. So you use the velvet side to apply the foundation. Now this right here is elastic, so you can, you know, move it from side to side. We're going to use obviously this side right here, and he also suggests to do not use a lot of foundation. So let's just dig in and go for it. Okay, I do have a ton of freckles and a ton of redness too, and redness here too, and I will have to say that it's camouflaging them really well. And the product in consistency is very thin. I'm gonna use a little bit more. I'm not pressing too hard. And usually I focus first on my cheek area where usually, like I said, there's my redness, and then I spread. If you're wondering, it doesn't feel balmy. You know, sometimes the word balm really kind of like makes you think like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be like greasy. But no, it doesn't feel like that at all whatsoever. For me, I will have to say that you can definitely consider this a light to medium coverage foundation. For some people, those who do not have absolutely nothing, zero redness or freckles, it may be a medium coverage, but you can go, you know, very light-handed too. And in terms of finish, it does have a natural finish. There's no luminosity here, there's no dew, there's no glow, and I think the shade is actually a good match for my skin tone. He has mentioned that this foundation, you can use it also as a concealer. I don't think that this shade will work for me as a concealer right now. I tend to do not go for a lighter, you know, like concealer too much, because as you can tell, I do have very dark under eye circles. So I'm gonna go with my Chanel color corrector. For concealer, Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate. I like to let it set a little before I go ahead and spread it. Now let's go into brows. I do have two brow products. The new Westman Atelier Bonne Brow Defining Pencil in the shade Bark. And also I picked up the Tom Ford Fiber Brow Gel. This one is supposed to have little fibers. And what I have noticed that with time is that on the tail of my brow, I never pluck my brows or wax them, because I do have very sensitive skin and I break out easily. In fact, I even have a scar right here of the first time that they thread my brows was for my wedding day many months ago. And then I tried to do it a second time through someone that knew how to thread my brows, and yet imagine, it was so bad, that reaction that I had with my skin, that I even got a scar. I know. So anyhow, going back to this, I was thinking to use the brow gel to kind of fill in, this back part right here. First, I want to fill in a little bit my brows on the front area with the new Westman Atelier brow pencil. Gucci Westman definitely does beautiful packaging for her line. So, I'm surprised of how thick is this product. It looks very thick, honestly. Just see the shade. Okay, that looks like a good shade. And that's great. This is retractable too. And you're supposed, I think, to draw your brows like this. Okay. This is easier than I thought. I thought it was going to be complicated. And you know what? The formulation kind of reminds me to the Gucci one, the powder one. That type of formula. Going with the Tom Ford Brow Gel. And I got it in the shade Espresso. Let me just see right here. Okay, the shade is good. And there are some fibers there. Not a lot, but yeah, it looks like it's growing from my hand. A little bit of beer. Yeah, look weird right there, but it does have a little bit of, not a lot, but somewhat. Just right back here, just a little. Okay, it's filling in my brows. I'm afraid right here to put too much. Oh, just put a little bit in the front. See what it does. It does fill my brows. It doesn't have a ton of fibers as other fiber products for the brows do, but I think it has enough, at least for me, because I do have, thick brows. I do have hairs on my brows. It's not that they are very thin or sparse. Okay, before the concealer completely dries down, I'm gonna go ahead and spread it. And by the way, if you're wondering what type of brush is this, is by Sonia G, that Jumbo Concealer. For bronzer, I'm going to go with Chanel Le Beige. And this one right here is in the shade Soleil Tan Deep Bronze. And I'm going to be using a Patrick Ta for contour #1 brush, which is kind of like fun brush. I'm excited to see Chanel's Le Beige collection for 2022. Perhaps you have already seen some of the sneak peeks, but they are apparently they are bronzers or setting powders in a very large component, only 2 shades, which I know. I wish there were more shades, but there are 2. And then there's another one of these one right here. Now I don't know if it's the same shade or another shade, so I'm curious about that too. And then there's an illuminating kind of like highlighter. I'm excited. I always get excited about Chanel Le Beige collection. For blush, I got one of the new Laura Mercier Tinted Moisturizer blushes. This one is in the shade Sun Drench. And I mentioned it on my last haul video that when I swatch it in a store, this shade swatched beautifully and it blended beautifully. But there was another shade that I was very intrigued for. When I tried it on my hand, it looked patchy or as if the product, oh, this is a beautiful shade. Or if the product didn't blend completely, it looked like it had deposit of pigments in different ways. So I said, you know, no matter what, I just want to try it. Let's see how this does. And I'm going to be using an Isun X52 brush. By the way, Muse Beauty Pro, they are having a 20% off sale site-wide. When you're watching this video, there's still a few more days for the sale. I will be leaving all the details on the description box below too. Okay, so I'm just grabbing a little amount and hope for the best. Okay, the product is dispersing really well. And it's not removing my foundation either. It's a good shade too. A very summery shade for sure. Just tapping it from my hand. You know, I thought when it said moisturizing that it was gonna dry a little bit like dewy. It's not. It's actually drying a little bit more like matte. It looks so cute. It looks like I was for too long out on the sun, which I don't anymore. I used to when I was on my 20s, and that's why I got enlarged pores like that because of all the sun damage. Okay, friends, let's see right here. Let's set the under eye area and a little bit of the enlarged pores using the Goss, the weightless powder in translucent. There's only one. And by the way, I don't know if I have mentioned it to you before, but Goss is selling these products separately, but also on a set. If you want the set of the 3 new products, the sponge, the foundation, and also the powder, he's also selling them like that. And this is the component, also made in the USA, and it does have a sifter. The only thing that I noticed right here is that it doesn't have a lip stopper, which is something that I wish I could have seen. And it has it doesn't have a lot of ingredients. Mica is the first one, calcium carbonate, aluminum starch. Yeah, very few ingredients. Rice too. Very little amount of, like less than 10. Let's just, okay, you know, it kind of reminds me a tiny bit to the consistency of like cornstarch. Not as soft though, but kind of like that. Neither so finely milled, but it's not leaving a white cast either. So let's hope for the best, and let's go ahead and use the sponge as he suggested, but from the more velvety side. So I'm just gonna switch it. I'm gonna tap it, and then I'm just gonna apply it right here where I have my enlarged pores. Okay, that really left a very flawless finish to the skin. And also on this side right here, this side looks a little bit more like a smooth because of the primer, but this side right here, it doesn't look like it's emphasizing my enlarged pores, which is great. Okay, and then for my under eye area, I don't know, the path, I will say I like the idea of the path, but I will have suggested instead of doing it round to have done it like a triangle, kind of like the one from Linda Halber. That way you can use it very deep on your eyes. Just, you know, an observation right there. But I'm gonna grab a little more. The excess. You know, I'm gonna do a TATCHA style. And I'm gonna go under my eye area. Okay, that was very smoothing under my under eye area. Very thin powder too. And I decided to go with concealers that I have tried so much, like for more than a year. That way I know like how it's reacting with this powder. But Honestly, really loving this powder. Really good. And also the sponge, really, really good. And do the taco technique if you want to get, you know, really into this area of the eyes. Okay, friends. So far, so good. Let's go now for eyes. So I already reviewed the entire Dior Summer 2022 collection with the exception of the eyeshadow in Bayadere. So on my review, I reviewed the eyeshadow in Dior Riviera, but Bayadere wasn't available, and I was like, okay, well, I just pick up Riviera. But after trying the quality, I was like, okay, I need to try Bayadere. So here I have it. And honestly, it doesn't disappoint. At least looking at it right here, look at that. And by the way, if you're new here to my channel, I do film in natural light. In fact, you see there's camera, there's no ring light anywhere. It's just a big screen, what I have right here. So anyhow, let's go for swatches. I'm excited. This shade right here is what it gets me the most excited. It's this gorgeous, very summery, peachy with gold tone. Yes. Sorry, just get too excited. So creamy. All the 4 shades are satin, and then we have only one matte shade right here that is a very soft matte. And what a beautiful shade. Look at that. That's so beautiful. Honestly, it looks like summer. I'm excited. And since I have you here, this is Dior Riviera, the second shadow queen on this collection, so that you can see the difference. This one here is not cool tone, but it's deeper. It has a little bit more of like a berry undertone to it. To me, this one gives you a very seductive look. This one right here will give you that very like youthful, you know, very, very much, you know, the morning time, the weather, the sun hitting on the ocean. And oh, yes, I'm loving it. You know, let me just swatch this one right here, and that way I can compare it right away, because I know we couldn't do that when I was doing the review of this collection, because again, the Bayadere eyeshadow palette wasn't available, but now it's available. Okay, you can tell right here. This is warmer in tone. This one is not lighter, but doesn't have the warmth. And they are different shades, different undertones too. This will give you a very sultry look. I love the look that I was able to achieve with the Dior Rivera. Okay, and you know what? I forgot. I want to just have something on my lips. So I'm going to go with my Hermes lip oil, and this one is in 01 Beige Sapotille. I have done a full review of these beauties along with swatches. These are amazing. I just told you that. So let me just prep my lips with this baby. And they all have a different scent. That they are just so good. Don't miss out on these ones. I promise you. There you go. Let's just prep the lips. Irresistible. Honestly, irresistible. Irresistible. That's all I have to say. Okay, let's go for the eyes. Oh, and I'm excited because Vanity Makeup, they just launched the signature brush collection, and I received them on PR. Thank you so much to Annie and Vanity Makeup for sending this over to me. I'm just super excited. Let me tell you, the presentation, it's just as stunning as the signature eyeshadow palette, which was my top very favorite eyeshadow palette of 2021. And I mean, it's an incredible palette, and I'm just so happy that she came out with these brushes. There are a total of 7 brushes in the collection. You can purchase them as a whole set or otherwise by singles. And let me tell you, these brushes, I love the handle. It's kind of brushed. The ferrule is really nice, but the quality of the hairs. These are synthetic, but honestly, they feel very much as if they were natural hair bristles. They really mimic them very well. At least, let me tell you which ones. The blender one, the taper blender, also the mini blender. So the pencil brush has the same bristles as these ones, but these two right here are different bristles. I don't know, perhaps I need to watch her reveal video. I'm thinking because these two right here, you know, you can use it with cream products, so I'm guessing that's why. But congratulations, these look amazing and I'm gonna try them right now. And let's go for this beauty right here. So I think I'm gonna go first with that Taper Blender by Vanity Makeup and this shade right here. And I'm gonna apply it above the crease. Okay, this brush feels so soft. And I haven't even washed it yet, so I will report back how they fluff and all of that, but it feels super soft. And I have one of the most sensitive skins, like, believe me. I mean, this scar right here tells you all. Okay, this eyeshadow, it has a lot of pigment. I'm impressed on the amount of pigment that I'm getting from this eyeshadow. Thought it was gonna be not as pigmented, but oh wow. Next I'm gonna go with the blender brush and the deepest shade. I'm just gonna tap very lightly. Oh yeah. Now I'm gonna go with a mini blender and this gold shade, and I'm gonna apply it right here, right next to that deep matte shade. Just using it kind of like as a transition shade. This brush, so good if you have hooded eyelids. Okay, I'm gonna go with a flat blender and I'm gonna go to this shade that honestly and obviously is calling my name. You know, my friends, how I love my peachy tones, coral tones. And I'm gonna take it in the inner portion of the eyelid all the way until it meets with that golden tone. Going with a pencil brush, I'm gonna go to this shade here and I'm gonna take it on my lower lash line. I went ahead and cleaned up the pencil brush and I'm gonna go to the lightest shade and I'm applying it on my inner corner and also on the brow bone. I'm gonna go with a liner brush and to the deepest matte shade. And I'm just gonna go ahead and define my lower lash line. Now this queen right here is spectacular, like so good, so beautiful. I'm in love. Honestly, I'm in love. And I know I use all the shades. Usually that's what I do when I do a try on or, you know, a review, just so I can really see and have a feel for the formulation. Formula is spectacular. But if you're not familiar with the Dior Queens, basically this middle shade is the inspiration for all the shades around it. So basically you can do an eyeshadow look with just 3 shades right here, these 3 shades right here, these 3 shades right here, or these 3 shades right here. So it's very well composed that you can get various different shades, aside to be able to obviously use it, you know, alone, solo, or do your own combinations, which is just fantastic. It's the beauty of these queens from Dior. Okay, my friends, totally a success right here. You know what? Let me just, this is something that I love to do. Just go with the lightest shade and I just pop it a tiny bit right on the middle. Now, Dior has reformulated their Diorshow on Stage liner. They are waterproof eyeliners and they also have expanded the shades. They have from green, pink, white, I mean, and they have different finishes from matte to shimmer to metallics. I mean, just amazing. And they all have this felt tip applicator. And I usually go for black, but I tend to love brown too. But it's hard for me to find the perfect brown shade. I have a couple that they are, you know, spot on. So I decided to pick up the one in matte brown 781. And this is how it comes. And then, like I said, there's a felt tip applicator. Let's see how thin is the line. Ooh, it's very liquidy. And this one is a deep brown, very deep, not black, but very deep. Okay, let's line the upper lashes. Okay, it feels really wet. I ordered the new Hourglass gel waterproof eyeliners. They're not here yet. So I just went even to check the mail. I'm like, oh man, they're not here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and use my Victoria Beckham Beauty Satin Kajal in the shade Cocoa and apply it on my waterline. And while shopping all things Dior, I know, so many new Dior products and also reformulations like the Diorshow. This is the volume mascara, which is supposed to give you a 24-hour buildable wear. I'm not gonna wear it for 24 hours, but I want to try it. So here it is, the component. This is the new packaging, beautiful. It says Diorshow on this side. Definitely a big one, a little bit tapered. Yeah, not curved, just tapered. Okay, the formula doesn't feel either too wet or too dry. Okay, it gave me just a little bit of volume, not a ton. And as I start reapplying it, it seemed like I started drying a little bit and a little bit faster. So I was able to build up, but to a certain point. You know what, before I forget, I also, with my purchase of Dior products, they sent me this Dior Base Serum Mascara. This is a Lash Primer. So let's just try it on this side and see if it makes any like difference. I usually do not go for lash primers. I used to in the past. I used to wear the Lancome one, but then I stopped. Getting my lashes all white. Okay, now let's go for this again, the Diorshow mascara. Oh, now there's a big difference between this and this side. One thing though, it seems like the mascara wants to kind of clamp together with the lashes, so it doesn't really give too much definition, but definitely you can see a big difference between this and this. This one gives me more volume. Okay, so the primer kind of helped right there for another kind of look. If you want something more subtle, just go like this. But if you want something a little bit more intense, then you go with a primer. I'm going to go with my Sisley bronzer. And this one is a new one because I do have to. This one right here is my older one. I haven't hit pan yet. I'm wondering when, because I have used and abused of this one for so long. Now, this was a limited edition packaging. I think I got it back on the time at Selfridges, if I don't forgotten. But then I was placing an order with Beautylish, and it was right at the time of the gift card event. So I went ahead and picked up this baby right here, a brand new one, which looks stunning. Oh, looks so beautiful. So I'm gonna use this with an Eson V49 brush. And these give a nice bronze to the skin. I also received this Chantecaille HD Radiant Blush. So this was supposed to be launched with the Giraffe collection, but it got pushed back, and Chantecaille was so kind. They sent this to me along with other products. Thank you so much to Chantecaille. I'm really excited because I really enjoy this type of HD powder from Chantecaille. It does have a very alike finish to say a Guerlain Meteorites. Is mostly, like a buffing product, but this one is a blush. And here it is. This is how it comes. So in this container is the blush, and then you take it out, and then this is retractable. So this is ideal for on the go. And actually I have already tried it, and on my skin tone, it's a little too light to be a blush. So the way that I have been applying it is kind of like a finishing powder, which is ideal because it gives me this aura effect look, and that's how I want to use it today too. So I'm just gonna buff my makeup, and don't be afraid. Honestly, do not be afraid to use it like such. If you are of fair or light complexion, definitely you can use it as a blush. But if you're not, and you want that aura type of effect, and you have perhaps the meteorites, but you don't have like on the go, and you wanted to take it for a trip or something, this could be a really good solution too. And by the way, when you're watching this video, Chantecaille is having their Earth Day promotion. I think it finished, actually it will end up the promotion today, where you buy one and you get the second product for 25% off, which includes the philanthropy line, which usually the line is untouchable. Like there's no other discount that will apply to it. So this is if you have been eyeing for the luminescent eye shades, or perhaps even the giraffe collection, go for it. As you see, it didn't add any like of this specific color too much. You need to just give a radiance to my skin. Now for highlighter, I have been loving so much my Westman Atelier super loaded tinted highlighters. I have the Peau de Peche, Peau de Rosé, and I also picked up the new one, which is Peau de Santé, like, healthy skin. This beauty right here, I already featured this one and I couldn't contain myself and I ended up picking up Peau de Soleil. So this completes my collection of the super loaded tinted highlighters. So let me show you, like, comes in the beautiful pouch as per usual, and then stick it out right here. And it comes in this golden tone right here, which is super pretty. Let's just open it up. And I know you're gonna be like, that's deep. But with these type of highlighters from Westman Atelier, I don't feel like this is too deep, honestly. So I just want a little bit of a golden tone. And the beauty about these highlighters from Westman Atelier is that you can apply it on top of powder and it will not lift up. The reason is because although it's kind of like not balmy or creamy, it's something in between, but it sets like a powder without being powdery. Ooh, that brings the heat on this. Oh, I love it. So excited. So excited. Okay, I'm gonna a little more. Whoops, like that. This is heat. See, that's what I was looking for. Honestly, I can even stay with this oil from Hermes, but I have a ton of new products right here. So I picked up two more of the Gucci liquid lipsticks, but these ones, they look a little bit more rose in tone. But well, again, shopping with Dior, I picked up another one of the Dior Addict lip tints. This one is in the shade Natural Peach. So I think that's what I'm gonna use right here. And here you have it. This is the shade Natural Peach. I'm excited. I have been really, truly enjoying these lip tints from Dior. I'm not gonna line my lips. Let's just go for it and see how it looks. Oh yeah. Now this one I can smell a little a scent. I cannot put exactly what it smells like, but it has a scent. See how thin this is? Super thin. And when I'm letting dry the lipstick, let me tell you about the foundation. You know, it looks very natural. It's not heavy, it's very thin. I thought it was gonna be kind of like balmy and heavy, but it's not. It's super, super thin. Yeah, it looks very nice on the skin actually. Very nice. You don't see it sitting on top of the skin. The translucent setting powder, it's something that, you know, I actually like. You know, my friends, I'm not very much of setting powders, but I'm enjoying it. I'm gonna be using just a little bit more and see if I can just right here. Okay, and definitely this one you can reapply it. Like if you're on the go, you see how like perfecting it is. And like Wayne suggested too, what you can do is, I mean, you can do it with anything pretty much, even a Ziploc, but if you don't want to waste or, you know, like throw another package on the landfill, you can reuse your little baggie and put it back there. Very nice powder, and I really like this applicator too. All of the rest of the makeup is really good. The only thing is the Tone 4 Fiber Brow Gel. I think I'm gonna get it in a shade lighter because I want to really fill in these areas, but want it to be a little bit easier, and I think a lighter tone will be best, although it doesn't look bad at all. But I like this product, and I'm in love with the new brushes from Vanity Makeup too. You know what? Let me add a little bit of shine to these lips. I'm gonna go with this Suku in the shade 110 Maruiro, and this is from their pre-summer 2022 collection. I have been having a lot of fun with this baby right here. Now you're gonna be like, oh, what? You're gonna put green? It's not green. It's definitely is not green. And these lip tints from Dior, they do have shine. It may seem like it's gonna be like a matte type of formulation, but it's not. It's kind of like a between a matte and a satin. I'm just gonna apply a little bit of this and just give this kind of like golden tone. Oh yeah, you see, it makes your lips look more full and pouty, and it's not green or blue. I know it's intimidating, huh? But do you see that? So good. From Suku. Amazing. Okay, now this gives me that little gold in there, more summery. And for the fragrance of the day, I'm gonna be using my new House of Sillage Ruby Ring. I know, this is like, ooh, heat. Like this is a fragrance that actually you can use it all year round, honestly. It does have a little bit of bergamot. At the opening, you will smell the bergamot, also a little bit of rose. Then in the middle note, you're going to have a little bit of orange blossom and suede, which that kind of intrigued me. I'm like, suede, oh, it's so smooth. That suede in there is not your leather. It's a gorgeous fragrance, let me tell you that. And then you have a little bit of patchouli in it too, which you can smell it mostly on the dry down. Now, as far as longevity goes, I will give it a solid 6 hours. It's a stunning fragrance. This just launched from House of Sillage, and it's not only this beautiful bottle, it's the fragrance itself. It's amazing. Okay, my friends, and here we go. This is the makeup of the day. I will say more like summery time. This one really makes me feel the heat of summer. enjoy absolutely every single product that I tried today. I will be leaving a pinned comment on the comment section down below, letting you know how the foundation wore throughout the day. Okay, my friends, and I think this makes it for this video. I would love to know from you, have you tried any of these products right here? Do you have some of them on your wish list? Let's continue the conversation on the comment section down below. And while you're at it, and if you haven't done so yet, I want to invite you to subscribe to my channel. Make sure you ring that post notification bell so you don't miss any of my uploads, and come and follow me on my Instagram. If you like this video, do not forget to give it a thumbs up. Also, share with family and friends. And until the next time, I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful day. Bye-bye.